No cooldown. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Rant. And someone's back. Drum roll.
Whee! I'm back.
Who are you, though?
I'm yes.
I'm Dr. Somber, and also known as Seth.
I'm Junior, aka Junior Wolf, and this is Nerd Rant. Chaotic as ever from the start. This is going great.
So, guys, it's been a rough week. So, Jenny, what happened? Where were you last week?
So I was on vacation. I was in Idaho at my grandparents', and my grandparents don't have Wi-Fi, so I was not able to record, and we did not get on top of pre-recording an episode. Or technically we did, didn't we?
We did.
We had one pre-recorded. We just didn't have two pre-recorded, and I was gone for like 2 weeks. So you had Seth and his special guest, what was it? Ari? Ari? Yeah. Ari last time, talking about anime. So yeah, that.
So
luckily
I was gonna
you
have
got that
another
out
one.
of your system. Now I don't have
Luckily.
to deal with that.
For now. Anyway, so we got a big one planned. We're going to be talking about 3 games. Some leakers,
tweezers.
Pleasers. They're pleasing leaks and teasers. I don't know what I'm saying. We're going to talk about 3 games. All the stuff that's going to happen, stuff that did happen, some stuff that's coming, yada yada. What do we want to do first? What are the games? Do you want to list the games? Do you remember the games?
Yeah. I know the games we're talking about, Seth. Don't insult me like that. We're talking about, I'm kidding. We're talking about XDefiant as the first one.
Okay.
Then we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're talking about the finals.
There you go. You got it, guys. It took a second. But we got there. But yeah, so we're going to talk about XDefiant that just came out, the finals, which we both played a little bit, and then BO6, the teasers, the leaks, yada yada, that are going to be happening with the reveal happening in, what, like a week from now?
Yeah. A little bit away.
A little over a week. So what do you want to go do first? You have played XDefiant as of today.
Yep, as of today. We played a good 2 hours.
The finals, how much did you play? How much do you think you played?
I mean, I can check here. I can pull it up on my Xbox to check my playtime. I've played it for, in terms of the span of time I played it in, it was probably a solid month, I'd say. Keep talking. This is going to take a second.
All right. Yeah, we'll get into the finals. I kind of stopped playing, but I really enjoy the concept. And we're going to talk about some concepts. So pretty much, okay, so those 3 games, what are those 3 games? Arcade shooters. That's what we're going to talk about today. Arcade shooter is this subgenre of FPS games. I really like arcade shooters. They're fun. I've been grinding XDefiant. I haven't played the last few, but I've played a lot of Call of Duty. Just played a little bit back in the day.
I have a lot of time, okay. 1 day, 7 hours. So that's what, 20 or 30, 32, 33 hours around there?
Something like that. That's not too bad. I mean,
More
that's
than
not
I thought
really
it was.
that much.
Yeah, in the grand scheme,
because
yeah,
think
not
about
that
that's
much,
a loading
but...
screen and stuff too.
Yeah.
So if you go in game and they had a timer, which I don't know, but yeah. So XDefiant, let's go in the finals. So since that's where we
start
are.
with that. All right.
What do you think? Let's kind of like rate it. What are our thoughts on the game?
So the finals, I feel like, I have this thing in my brain right now where like FPSs have been in kind of a slump right now, right? Like a lot of FPSs have not been great, mainly spearheaded by Call of Duty, but even like if you look at the Halo games, people have said those haven't been great, and some of the smaller ones coming out just aren't finished usually. So like FPSs themselves have not been in a great space recently. And then I feel like the one that broke that cycle was the finals. I feel like that's the one that kind of has gotten us back on a like, oh, FPSs, don't have to be the same thing over and over again, or they don't have to be just cheap like money cash outs, cough cough Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I feel like the finals is a great example of like if you take a unique idea and apply it to that kind of gameplay, then it can absolutely become something that everybody loves.
Yeah, scrolling back so far, how many games did I play since the finals? It's been a hot second, huh? Still scrolling. No, Last of Us, I'm gonna say these are wrong. Okay, who knows? Who knows? It's hard because I really enjoyed it. But what I'm seeing a lot, because I'm still on my PS5, but I've switched to keyboard and mouse. What I'm seeing is a lot of these games do not have keyboard and mouse support. Which sucks. Because, so I know you played solo mostly, right? I'm guessing?
Yeah, mostly.
During that weekend that they were trying. I want to play trios because I have my one friend that plays competitively and I want to play with him and his duo because he only has one other. They're in the top 200 though, which I can do if I was on keyboard and mouse because this has one of the worst controller schemes I've ever seen for an FPS game. In order to use any of your gadgets, that includes grenade, launch pad, and everything, you have to open a wheel. So I have to press a button to open a wheel to then hit up on my joystick to then equip it, and then I fire to activate or whatever the button is.
Yeah.
In the middle of the combat. So if I'm getting shot at, I need to throw down like the goo bomb or like, trying to slide, like I have to open up a wheel, make sure I'm going up. And the order that you equip it changes. So I have to make sure I have the goo on my first slot versus second slot, or else when I go up, I'm going to pull the launch pad out instead of the goo bomb.
Yeah, that would not
Instead of just tactical and lethal. I know that's not what they are, but like so many games have those where it's just back bumpers or something. Like I feel like they could have done a better job.
Probably.
So because of that, that's literally why like I practically quit. Like I don't have it downloaded right now. And it's so fun. Like I don't know if you saw some of the camos. One of the guns are sticks. It's a full stick. It's great. Like the camos are really, and the battle passes and everything, it's really cool. And like you said, I really like the premise of it. I think it's very cool that we're watching people try to fight each other for entertainment, but in 3v3, whatever. But yeah, it's fun. What other type of classes were you using a lot?
I was mostly using either the light or medium. Heavy was just not my thing. I like to move fast, and so moving slow just felt like the biggest, like, difficult hurdle for me. So I usually played light so I could zip around and stuff like that, but I did go medium sometimes so I could use those healing abilities because I did like supporting the team in that way, so...
Oh, there we go. Oh, I do have the finals installed. I just completely missed it. 19 hours. Yeah, no, for meta, it was always like one heavy, one medium, one light, something like that, or two mediums, because the heavy definitely has that tankiness, and because you can destroy structures, which I think is very interesting to see that destroying structures thing after Fortnite, because I can guarantee if Fortnite didn't exist, I don't think any FPS would ever have destructible. I do not think the finals would have had destroyed structures if Fortnite didn't exist.
Somebody would have come up with the idea eventually, but it probably was spearheaded by Fortnite.
That's fair. But because it's funny, because I'm watching this one guy and he's ranking he's watching people rank all the Call of Duties, and everyone is complaining about this game and these specific games, because that's when Fortnite happened. Like, it took over the internet. And I wonder if that's why FPS games also felt like lacking, because that was the shooter. Battle Royale and Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's why it also felt like Call of Duty 2, because they went to Warzone and that screwed over in their own right. But I wonder if that's just why it felt like we had a lack, because even if because I felt like we probably did have good shooters, it was just Fortnite.
Yeah.
They couldn't, whether it was good or not, it's not beating Fortnite. It's not beating this live event. It's not beating Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Which really stinks, but finals definitely did. I do want to say, it's really sad to see the player counts go down, but I also want to pull up, and this is a good conversation, a lot of people are calling, like, how big of a dead game it is, but is it dead? It's like 20,000 people, which is definitely not as much as it had at launch, but I think we're just calling that dead because, well, I mean, it did have a big drop, right? When you look at games like Fortnite that actively have like 2 million people on at any time throughout the 24-hour period, like even time zone changes, it generally has like 1.5 million people. 20,000 seems like a dead game, but in the grand scheme of gaming, I'd say that's still plenty alive.
Yeah, that's definitely a big enough player base to support the kind of game it is, like, absolutely. I think there are definitely some things they could be doing to up that count, but they don't need to, is the thing. Like, I'm sure they're making enough money off of the game as it is with that consistent player base, but, it's a solid game as it is, and just because some people move on to other things doesn't mean that they dislike the game now.
not to mention with seasons, there's going to be people coming in to play ranked again to get up to that high rank or something, or get the battle pass. And then not to mention that 20,000, that's only Steam. Like, that's still console. It is a free-to-play game on consoles, and you know how much player count you can get on a free-to-play game, especially consoles. So I think it's fine. It's definitely interesting. It does feel like it fell off a little bit, though. Like, I do not hear people talk about it. Did you hear much talk about it before I introduced it to you?
Yes, actually, a bunch of people that I work with were talking about it. They were like, this is like the best new FPS, blah, blah, blah. And I was about ready to download it, and then you were like, hey, you should try this game. I'm like, you know what? I should just download this.
Yeah, I actually didn't hear about it, and I feel like that's another thing that, like, we've been seeing is marketing and, like, getting stuff ready I feel like it's gone down. Like, I feel like people haven't been marketing very well lately.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is, and you can look at most games and they tend to have this trend where it's once they have like that big increase on players, they're like, oh, awesome, our marketing worked. And then they stop. It's just like there's nothing from that point forward. And so they're not bringing in any new players. And so the players who just downloaded it to try it out and they get that, initial 10, 15 hours in, well, guess what? Once they're done with the game, you don't have any marketing left to bring in people who might actually enjoy it still. So people just kind of forget about it. And once again, Finals is not the only game that has done this in the past. Like, I've seen so many games kind of go on this huge spike of like, oh, we marketed this game great. We have a great initial sales or downloads or whatever. And then there's nothing. You just kind of get this, not dead, but like this 20,000, consistent players, just nothing compared to initial. Because there's no new people coming in.
Yeah, I think it's hard because it's locked to one game mode too. I wonder if they did have a almost 6v6 style, I wonder what that would do for it. Because I feel like that would do really well, a game like that. And we'll talk about it with XDefiant, but so many people are trying to turn XDefiant into Call of Duty. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want this and this and this from Call of Duty, everything that killed it. I don't want to... Did you see that people are calling for an XDefiant Battle Royale already?
Oh, no.
And it's like, that's not what I'm saying. But a game mode like 6v6, I feel like would do really well. And maybe with the map size, you can even do 5v5 or 7v7. Like, you can definitely change it up. And I feel like that would do really well and bring in a lot of people and keep people. Because a 3v3 competitive style that it is definitely a lot more niche than, say, something like XDefiant or Call of Duty.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I'd rather have a game be its own niche and do it well than try and pull from other franchises.
That's what people are saying with XDefiant, too.
A lot of, like, Warzone's problem and all that, like, that era of Call of Duty is they tried to pull from so many other popular FPSs and shooters and combat games and all that. They tried to draw from every which way to try and popularize that game, that it just made it not Call of Duty anymore. It didn't feel like a game in and of itself. It felt like, let's combine all these different things, and the result was a very subpar game. And so I feel like something with like the Finals, though it's not as popular as it could be if they added this and that to it, it is in and of itself a great game, and it knows what it's trying to be. And so that is the reason that, it has a consistent player base, no matter the size. It has consistent fans because those fans are fans of its style, not fans of FPS games in general,
That's fair. But yeah, I guess I haven't downloaded, so I should really try to check it out soon. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. It also stinks because I also wanted to mind like more of an esport, but I feel like I didn't see much esports. Like, I didn't see no FaZe team. So that would be really cool.
Oh yeah, no, this one as an esport would be awesome. Like, I think this is perfectly set up for that kind of thing. And seeing some of the pro players I did back when I was playing it, like, some of those clips of them just like zooming around, knowing the map like the back of their hand, and having to sight read when the map is broken and everything, like all these different divots they have to walk through, things they can slide past, like all this rubble. It's very interesting to see and makes for a very action-packed esport.
And compared to some other games, like, the classes really do matter. Like, you have specific guns, but you also have the HP and the speed. So you have somebody that's light and they're running around the sword or something, and then you have medium, which is healing or support for, like, launch pads and stuff. So, like, the meta is very teammate. Like, you can easily have, like, 2 healers and a tank, and they just constantly heal the tank, or everyone can be light, and you just run around like ninjas, with a grappler or something. So, but yeah, so that's the finals. I think it's cool. The other 2 games are the big games I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to mention the finals because I felt like it make it better with 3, and that's another one that I kind of forgot. Like, I feel like that does fit arcade shooter, but in its own way, not just this other niche 6v6 type arcade shooter style. Anyway, we move into XDefiant.
Yes, and I want to point, the XD thing. Are they doing that on purpose? Like, is that an on purpose thing?
I don't know,
because like,
though, with the emoji pack that is quite literally XDs, probably.
I like saw it and I was like, Laugh-defiant? What is this game?
It's funny because I said that in the server. It's like, I'm gonna go play some XD with a friend, and they hated that I had to XD.
Yeah, I was like, that has to either be a very intelligent intention or a very oblivious mistake.
It was probably intentional. I will say, I don't know if you knew this, it was actually supposed to be a Tom Clancy game originally.
I could see it, honestly.
And a big thing that's really cool is, like, because I follow Mark Rubin and stuff, and in the lead up to the launch of the game, there was a video, and they actually, apparently, not only was it supposed to be that, they had this game. They gave a playtest or a beta or something, and the game that we're currently playing is completely different to what the Tom Clancy version was. Because they listened, because one thing that I love about XDefiant is how much they listened to the community, and they changed it all because this is what the community wanted. So, as I said earlier, if you want to go check out my channel, Dr. Zombrain, me and JJ just played for like 2 hours. That was JJ's first thought. He looked through the UI, but everything else, like the maps, the gunplay, leveling up, was all live on there if you want to see his reactions. And I have some videos too, and some streams. And I've played, it said like 12 and a half hours in game.
Yeah.
So now I definitely know JJ has his first thoughts. So we're going to talk about some different aspects and some stuff coming. So first off, I know you said in the stream, but let's give some thought. Like, give your first thoughts and stuff on the maps, guns, stuff like that.
I very much enjoyed this as opposed to a lot of other, FPSs out there. Everybody knows I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I've played a little bit of the games and I keep track of it on social media, but like, I am not one that enjoys the Call of Duty gameplay very much just because it can be so overcomplicated and the whole like way that they have their metas is confusing and the guns behind paywalls and some of it is just absurd to me, and I know that's probably just me being outside of the circle, but like it was just never something that I enjoyed. But looking at this is absolutely one that I could get into if, I gave it the time that I probably will inevitably forget to give it. But yeah, I very much, I'm looking at this and I'm like, the factions and stuff with all the different abilities, like the groupings there look really interesting, the different abilities, and the fact that it's all different game franchises, that in and of itself looks really intriguing, because like if you look at all of the FPSs today, like they all have collabs going on, and Fortnite you can get the skins and stuff, but none of them go very in depth with those collabs, right? Like this one is obviously it's their own IP, so they can go further with it.
I'd say the closest thing would be the Infinity Blade, because that was technically a collab.
Yeah. But with this, you have all of these abilities that correlate to these characters, and these characters actually exist in these other games, and you have these maps which are places from these other games. It's pretty much a game that is composed of other games, which is very interesting to see.
It's a good version of a metaverse,
right? like it's weird to say like that, but it pretty much is, But I'm very much excited because Ubisoft has plenty of cool IPs, and say what you will about their business practices and whatnot, but the stories they create and the characters and worlds are really interesting, and so. I'm excited to see how they implement a lot of them into these games, and there's some chance for them to kind of go down the hole of how Ubisoft always overdoes their microtransactions, but so far it does not look too bad, I will say. Prices are a little high, but in terms of like actual bang for your buck, it's not the worst. Like the Founders Packs especially are pretty good deals.
I mean, here's the other thing. Your bang for your buck is nothing. It's free.
It's a free game.
Like, and that's the thing that I saw some people saying. It's like, this is so expensive. Like, look at what you get in COD versus this. It's like, okay, so here's a COD one that gives a basic-ish, add some green tints to the MP7, you get a skin and stuff. It's like 2,400 COD points. That's like $24, right? But you're adding that onto a $70 game, which is practically a $70 DLC on another $70 game. XDefiant, sure. It's a little expensive. It's like $15 for a skin on a free game. Free game. And like, you look at Fortnite has $20 skins. Like, most of their legendaries are around $20. Like, we just got to Save the World pack, which is if you already have Save the World, the skin is like $17. But it's a free-to-play game. You have access to all of the content, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of content for free.
Yeah. All of the cosmetics are purely optional, and it's not even like you're not ever going to get cosmetics if you don't pay for it, because you are. Like, you're going to get stuff without paying for it, because obviously they went the Battle Pass route, because everything these days does.
Yeah.
And there are free rewards there. Like, you can get some of the special kill effects.
There's camos,
guns and
everything.
camos and all this special stuff. I don't think there's any free skins yet. But that's not to say there won't be some in the future,
My thing with the skins in a game like Call of Duty XDefiant is it's a first-person game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that big of a deal when you can't see it? Like, cool, it's cool and you can see it at the end of the screen or when you kill somebody. But, like, versus camos, I'd rather have more camos in a game like Call of Duty and XDefiant for free rather than skins, because, like, you're not going to see it.
Also, completely random tidbit. Why don't people do gloves, like, as a cosmetic for FPS games? I feel like gloves would be
we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We're getting that later with Call of Duty.
Okay. I guess there's something I don't know.
So that's one thing. But yeah, it's free. Like, I do think it should go down, but as long as they keep this whole system where they keep a battle pass and they keep an item shop, no matter what the prices are, as long as they keep the content free and you get the faction, you do it with XP. And they have claimed Mark Rubin, the guy behind it all, which also made Modern Warfare 2, which is like what put Call of Duty on the map for a lot of people, is the guy behind this. And he has stated everything will be free to earn. You can earn it. Like, I earned it day one with buying the Founder Pack, the new faction, but you can earn it for free. And that is how everything will be. Every content. So every gun, every, like, not like, skins, but like every gun, every map, every faction, anything like that will be earnable through challenge for free.
I mean,
so
that's
as
good.
long as they keep that, I don't mind it. And the Battle Pass is also great because it's not like 200, as long as they keep this. I don't like the 200 tier Battle Pass, or even Fortnite feels like a little long.
Oh yeah, no,
for
50,
200.
I feel like 50 is really good,
great.
Especially for a game like this. And with the speed we're currently progressing, much more than 50 would be absurd if you expect players to go that far, because...
I mean, I'm already at 27, 28.
Mm-hmm,
and we
but
still
you
have
put
a month
in
left.
How many hours?
12.
12
That's 12
hours?
over 2 weeks almost.
Mm-hmm. And you've completed a good chunk of your quests. So once you run out of quests, you're going to be at what? Tier 30, 40?
The quests don't matter, though. The quests give guns and cosmetics. They don't give XP.
I guess those quests do, yeah. The daily ones do.
Daily, yeah, but that's player level, and player level is not Battle Pass. Because I also have, like, double XP tokens, which is strictly Battle Pass. It's really weird, the whole leveling system. That's, like, because levels don't do anything. Battle Pass is separate. We're going to get Prestige mode, but you don't get anything for Prestige other than maybe cosmetics. But not only is it 50, I think that's good, and the way they do it with, you get the gun, the new free gun early on, and then you get a cool version if you have the paid pass, I think is a good way of doing it. Don't lock the gun itself behind the paid version. But also, you do get enough for the next one, which I don't know why that is ever a thing that I should have to be worried about. Yeah. But I want to make it clear, if you buy it once, which also another thing that I think more games need to do, they do have a $5 currency. So yes, you have to spend either $10 for this or that, right? Because you need 1,000, you need 700 for the Battle Pass. say that you want something else, you do not need to spend $10. You can buy $5 worth, which I think is very good. But that means if you spend $10, you get this battle pass, and if you complete it, you'll probably have every other battle pass from now on.
Yeah, if you're not buying anything else.
Yeah. Which, like I said, like, it's expensive, but it's also just not that big of a deal. Like, you definitely get enough from the battle pass from everything else. Like,
if you complete it all the way.
Not to mention...
I do appreciate how Fortnite does it, because then you don't necessarily have to complete the battle pass to have enough V-Bucks for the next one, because there's always a little bit extra in there. But, you know, with this one, it is a little bit shorter.
1,500. It's like 600.
Just a little bit.
However, I don't know
let's be honest, it's not going to get you very far these days in Fortnite.
No, but here's one problem that I have with Fortnite is the fact that they're putting V-Bucks in the bonus rewards. So you have to get farther than level 100 to get all the V-Bucks.
Yeah, that's a little bit annoying.
I don't know if you've seen that. Like, I rather just get new styles. Like, why am I just getting base styles of like tier 1 cosmetics in like the level 130 range? But that's Fortnite. That's not what we're talking about. So XDefiant. So the maps. I also agree. Like, I really like the maps. They're colorful. What do you think about the visual side of the maps? Because I've seen a lot of people complain about the visuals of this game, saying it's like a mobile game.
I disagree. I don't know what about it is like a mobile game, because
I don't know.
This is pretty stunning. Like, the first match in, I was like, dang, this is running really smooth. Things look really sharp and polished, and there was like no performance issues at all. It was running like super nice, and I don't know, like, you even told me the FOV thing, like, that can usually cause performance issues. I still didn't encounter
I play
any
at
after
115.
I cranked it.
I've been playing at 115 and it's been fine.
Yeah, and so, like, are there any like actual graphic settings? Hold on, let me look.
I mean, if you're playing on console, not really. There are ones on PC.
Brightness, contrast.
Yeah, it's just pretty basic. Rate. And like refresh rate. I don't think there's like the performance, quality thing. It's really just 120 or not. Console though, like I said, PC, you have all the options. There's plenty. But yeah, performance-wise, it's great. I do want to say there are problems, and I will admit it's not perfect. I love it, and I'm having a blast, but it's not perfect. The hit detection, the pistols. I know you said this. I think the pistols need buffed bad, whether it's swap speed or damage.
Yeah, I think a little bit more damage could be good. And, like, obviously they're pistols, so they're not going to do a crap ton of damage. However, it does kind of need to be a reliable secondary swap,
Yeah. I think, like, the Deagle, right? It's doing, like, 33 damage. So that's 4 shots. And if you're the Phantom, it could be 5 shots. For the Deagle, I feel like it should, like, I think Call of Duty, generally, it's, like, 50 damage. I was saying 50, maybe, like, 40. Because then that's guaranteed 3 hit. 4, 8, 12. That's guaranteed 3 hit.
Yeah.
So I think maybe like damage a little bit, but it's also just the swap speed. It just feels like I'm screwed over if I have to swap. Like, I'm swapping and I'm literally staring. This happened to me. I beamed them. They're like 10 HP. I ran out of ammo because I'm using an SMG. I swap. I stare at them because of how slow it is, and then they kill me. I fully comprehend and could have a word with them by the time I swapped to my pistol.
Put your hand on their shoulder and just say,
hey. Yeah. But a lot of stuff, like I said, Mark Rubin, so like the amount of stuff, like you should go look at his Twitter page and go to replies, because he's replying constantly. Here's one from 47 minutes ago. Here's one from an hour ago. Here's another one from 49 minutes ago. Here's one from 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Like, he is replying to so many. Like, he is very active on Twitter and replying to not just, oh, here's this YouTuber, like promoting the game. It's like, that's a cool thing. Hey, like somebody said, the riot shield. I don't think you saw the riot shield at all. I'm not talking the one that you throw down. There's an actual like riot shield ability. Yeah. Somebody said, are you going to nerf that? And it's like, well, guess what? If you use the sticky grenades, that blows it up, and EMP is also deactivated. So he's actively like engaging with the community, saying, hey, this is a counter. Like, I understand your frustration, but we do have counters. Here's what they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you.
That's really good to see.
It's really good to see, especially lately. Like, I know, again, we'll talk about Fortnite later, but one of the biggest things that I've seen a lot of people enjoy the new Chapter 5 story. But my biggest thing is, where's the communication? There's no communication in the story whatsoever. There's no, hidden location. Donald wasn't saying, hey, that event was cool. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I miss that. I miss having somebody talk to us. And even, like, the status, like, hasn't really been talking much either. But this guy has and will continue to be very active. So I'm very excited to see where that goes as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's new for Ubisoft. Like, I think they're not the most communicative, developer out there. They tend to not care what a lot of people think when it comes to these issues, from what I hear, at least from what's the other one? The Rainbow Six,
yeah, Rainbow Six Siege. So I think the big thing is I think Ubisoft understood what this guy could do because he made Modern Warfare 2, and they let him be.
Mm-hmm.
It almost, from what I've heard about Ubisoft, it almost feels like they just gave him money and the IPs and let him go to work. Let the team work. Because yes, there's the microtransaction stuff, but the gameplay itself doesn't feel bad at all. Like, there's problems like with the netcode and stuff, but like generally, it feels great.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've heard, this is very, very rare for Ubisoft in a game like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hytale, right? Like, I'm really thinking that maybe these studios are just realizing that they're not good and almost picking up an indie studio, letting them make it, but they get the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're definitely making money off this.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that this isn't going to be a case of Ubisoft sees how big this explodes and is like, oh, actually, we want to get involved now that you're making a lot of money, and they
increase
ruin
prices and stuff. Yeah. So, to be determined, so far, we have a year's worth of content, like, confirmed. Like, they have a year planned out. We have 4 factions coming, one of them will be Assassin's Creed, one of them will be Rainbow Six, which is really confusing because I don't know what faction would be. Because they're like have a whole bunch of different powers. And then we also have a whole bunch of guns. I just saw this guy, he was going over the leaks. We're going to have a sniper. I saw the sawed-off shotgun, which can either be a new shotgun or attachment to this normal double barrel. There's LMGs. There's the FAMAS. There's the FAO, which are very iconic guns. Another shotgun. Crazy maps. Like, one of them was called White House, and it's just map names. I've seen some of them, and they all look colorful, but we got a lot more names than just images. And one of them is going to be White House, which I think would be very interesting. Imagine having to fight through the Oval Office. Like, that'd be a really fun map. And I can definitely see what games those are coming from, too. Like, I think, Far Cry, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
like,
a very political franchise.
Probably Far Cry. So, because we don't know what the games are, but almost all of them are from Ubisoft IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So we got plenty of those. We got the factions. We got the guns. Didn't see too much about like gadgets, like grenades and stuff we're getting anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We got some new game modes. So what do you think about the game modes? Let's go into that, because I think that's, like we just talked about the finals. What about the XDefiant selection of game modes?
Well, I feel like the review I mentioned earlier kind of summed it up here. I'm gonna pull that up just so I can say this person's name here. I laughed so hard when I saw this. So the number one review on Xbox here, at least for me, is a 3-star review. It's the title is 3 question marks, and it says game modes: 1, zone control; 2, zone control; 3, zone control; 4, zone control, but the zone has legs. And I feel like that's pretty accurate based on what I experienced, all except for the what was it, the
hot shot.
Yeah, hot shot. That's the only one that I feel like is separate from the rest, but otherwise it's literally all just a different form of zone control. So like it'd be nice to have a little bit more variation in there, but they made them fun. So it's not like each one is a drag just because it's so similar to the next. They are each like individual game modes. It's just they all share the very similar theme, which you can't really get upset at because we just praised the finals for being that kind of thing.
One. Yeah, it's literally one. So there is some stuff confirmed and some file stuff that's going to be coming. The confirmed is S&D, Search and Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about that for Call of Duty?
That's the planting the bomb one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what's different versus the other ones? Like, there's one key point about it. It's one life. You don't respawn. When you die, you die for the round, which people really enjoy. That is the competitive. Like, when you're playing ranked, it's generally something like S&D. And a lot of people really enjoy that specific style of gameplay, and a lot of people are asking for that, and that is confirmed to be coming. And there's some other ones like Infected, which from Call of Duty is you have one person that has melee, everyone else has guns. You choose your no loadout, or they have some set loadouts. And then when they melee you and they kill you, you're now a zombie. So it's spreading and spreading till eventually it's like 7 zombies versus 1 player with like an LMG or something. So that's confirmed, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Some like party modes, like gun game. Every time you get a kill, you switch guns. So I'm hoping we get stuff like that. There's like a 2v2 mode as well. So ranked is 4v4 from what we've seen with the trial. But this would probably just be like a smaller like 2v2, maybe a different game mode like kills or something. Maybe it's one life like gun game or gunfight in Modern Warfare. But I don't know. But we have more game modes, and they sound pretty interesting and fun. So those are the game modes. So I'm excited to see some of those come. Like I said, there's plenty more. And the final thing I want to talk about, because we're definitely going to talk about that with Call of Duty, is the camo grind. I know you said it. Do you want to repeat what you said about the levels versus like challenges with Call of Duty with XDefiant?
I feel like having it be levels, it makes a lot more sense, because then you're able to do anything else and still earn your camos. So like, for example, in XDefiant, you have your daily quests, right? Does Call of Duty have daily quests? Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But for example, say I wanted to do my daily quest, and it's like deal 10,000 damage or earn 6,000 match score. I can be doing those quests while earning my camos just by using, the gun that I'm trying to get the camo for, as opposed to Call of Duty, where I have to be using that specific gun but doing a specific thing with it, like you had mentioned before, like doing the hitting enemies while they're behind cover or whatever, like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of absurd, because then I can't play the game the way I want to, and if it's like a difficult challenge, then I'm practically sabotaging my entire team so that I can get this quest done. And we see that a lot. Like the crouched kills, you just see everyone just spawns in and everyone's crouching because they're just going for the camos. Yeah.
So I've opened up Cold War. Let's go to weapons. Let's go to the MP5. That's a classic, right? So let's go to appearance, camo. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types of camos.
Is it?
So the sprays are just get eliminations. You need 300 total, and it goes like, I think, 25 each. But here's what's criminal about it. That's not too bad, right? 300 kills. Then you need 75 headshots for the stripes. For classic, you need 5 kills without dying, so 20 bloodthirsties. Then you need 50 long shots. Then you need 75 kills while they're stunned or blinded or score streaks. Then you have science, which is get 75 point-blank kills. And then you have psychiatric, which is 25 double kills. Does that seem hard? Like, time-consuming, but hard.
Yeah. Like, it's...
Well, it gets worse, because they're not only locked to the challenges, they're also locked to level. So double kills is very easy with an SMG. However, you cannot start the challenge till it's level 50. So I have to get my gun up to level 50 and then grind the camo. Level 50 is a lot.
So I like this better, where it's literally just using the gun, getting kills, getting damage, that kind of thing with it. Gets it the XP to work you towards your camos. That way, you don't have to be pretty much throwing a game just so that you can get this cosmetic item. It allows you to still play the game and still, be competitive about things and be working towards those cosmetics that you want to show off.
I will say there's one thing that Call of Duty does that XDefiant does not, however it's coming, and that is the mastery camo. So XDefiant right now, when you get a gun to level 50, it's bronze, 75 is silver, gold is level 100. Call of Duty is a little different. Gold is the same. When you max out a gun, do all the camos, you get gold. And have you seen like a lot of the gold? Like, gold has changed a lot throughout the years.
Yeah,
I'll just send you a video because it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Cold War right now, it's diamond, and it's this really cool like gold with diamond plated. So like, the stock is gold, but the main body's diamond. And that's when you get all gold camo, all gold guns in one class. So that'd be SMG, shotgun, sniper, marksman, whatever. But then what they also have is a mastery camo. So in this game, it's Dark Matter Ultra or DM Ultra. And it's this really cool, like, animated... A Black Ops 4, the more kills you got, the bigger the spikes got, and the more it glowed, till eventually when you got 30, it went to, like, purple instead of red, which was, like, the original Dark Matter. So, because, like, imagine you get every gun max level, I feel like you should get something for that, like, every gun level 100. especially in XDefiant, and they are. We've seen some names for it. I don't quite remember, and we haven't really seen a lot of it, but they are working on a mastery camo, which I'm really looking forward to.
Because there are people like you who have already dumped so many hours in a couple days after launch and, need the additional rewards.
Well, not just that, it just gives you something to grind for, because the other problem is there's not enough challenges like Call of Duty with calling cards, right? Like, I can grind to get kills and double kills and throwing knife kills. There's nothing like that, like a long-term. I'm not saying, like, 4,000 damage. I'm talking, like, get 50, like, 500,000 damage with ARs. That'd be a type of Call of Duty. There's nothing like that. So that just gives you something when you get a new gun to grind for. Because once you get attachments, like my sniper, I got to level 30, I don't get anything other than camos. And the camos are pretty basic and they're the same on everything. And, you don't really care about the camos till like silver or gold. So I have 40 levels where I don't earn anything. So at least when I max out my gun, I get this cool animated camo that can go with it. And another thing that they do, which obviously we're going to get into now with Call of Duty, is there's actually separate mastery camos for the modes. So there is a zombie one as well. So like, and the gold is the same, but it's like more like a leopard print. And then instead of normal diamond, it's all purple. And then it's dark aether, which is like this spacey goo. But let's transition to Call of Duty for the rest. Black Ops 6.
Yes. So I have no idea
let's go
anything
into your
about
thoughts
any
about this. So, because I've talked to JJ a little bit over the phone a few times, and obviously he's not super into Twitter, not watching all these videos. So what do you think about Black Ops 6? Excited?
I am excited. I am actually very intrigued by this. No, he literally called me up while I was on vacation and was like, so have you seen anything about this? I'm like, no. And he's like, I think you'd love it. There's a TV on the website and it's like showing random clips from the time period and it's like glitching. And I'm like, hold up, there's an ARG.
So yeah. So let's get into a little bit because I've seen some stuff happen. So let's start off with the truth lies. That is the slogan of Black Ops 6. So Black Ops is so Call of Duty obviously is a big on like terrorists, right? Terrorism, modern warfare, right? Especially like that's the subgenre. Black Ops specifically, I would say something you can kind of think of would be like the Navy SEALs. It's like the CIA. So Black Ops specifically is like information. That's a big thing through all the campaigns. I'm currently going through the Cold War campaign again to get ready because this will be a sequel to that because it's quote-unquote Gulf War. That's what we thought this game was. And it's like we're trying to infiltrate Russia to get like information on nukes that was stolen. And it was apparently ours, so we're trying to take information. There's this data board on Cold War, right? There's this big evidence board where you choose missions, but there's also evidence that you can unlock by going back in, replaying, finding challenges, to then learn more about different characters for side missions and stuff. So it's big on information. So, the truth lies. So we started it off with getting a video on this really creepy old school TV with volume up, volume down, power, record, pause, channel up and down. I want to point out, this is cool, because again, Treyarch, we bash, not Treyarch, Activision, we bash a lot. But now it's under Microsoft, and Treyarch specifically is the Call of Duty studio that everyone loves. Do you know what's really cool that they did? They thought about their creators. When you hit record, what do you think that would do?
Record?
It saves the entire video clip. Which is like, most people wouldn't care, but imagine you're a content creator. Here is specifically the video. So I sent that in Discord, like, it's great. And that's like something that I wish more people would do and think about. So we started off and we got one of these videos. I'm trying to think which one. I think it was whatever is under channel 3. And it's crazy. So we're running through. It's like a body cam footage. It's old school. It's crazy. And it's very creepy. And then we see Mount Rushmore has been defaced. Now we got another teaser, which are some kids putting up these posters. Right, and it's called The Truth Lies. It's a picture of Mount Rushmore with the truth lies on all their eyes. Do you know what we got after this? We got creators actually got a beeper, and they had to decode a message that they constantly got sent out. The first message was to an IRL trailer about all these huge actual characters from history, and it was a IRL like trailer, live action trailer. It was really cool. And it was teasing that. And then there's some other stuff, and obviously they're supposed to keep that, so we might be getting more teasers leading up to the reveal or after the reveal. So that was really cool. Some of these teasers had and then the video from the website has some coordinates, and one of the coordinates is Saddam Hussein's house, the president of Iraq during 2001, right? During 9/11, stuff like that, which I want to come back to. So this is supposed to be the Gulf War, and we've even seen some of the video clips. We have seen Gulf War, the way they set it up. Here's the data from the mission, 2001 data, this person. So it's Gulf War. And what I've been seeing is I think there's going to be a time jump, because Black Ops 2, I think you have to... Wait, is Black Ops 2 on Game Pass?
I don't think any of the Call of Duties are on Game Pass thus far.
Yet.
Yeah.
This will be coming to Game Pass. I do want to talk about that. You have to play it. You actually have two different storylines that you're following, one from the past and one from the little bit of a future, it's 2030 with futuristic stuff. And it's really cool because there's different endings and stuff. And I think that's what might happen. Either we're going to play it at the same time, or there's going to be a time jump where we're going to go from Gulf War to kind of more modern 2001 to 2003. So it keeps going. And then one of the best parts is there is a TV, and it starts off with Chia Pet trailer. I don't quite know what the Chia Pet means, but all well. Then housing market, 2001. We see some music. I'm watching it right now. CI recruitment is soaring, which is important. And then it plays a clip from a show called Frank Woods. What do you think that means?
Frank Woods?
Mm-hmm. Big lore.
Benjamin Franklin is lost in the woods.
No, Frank Woods. It's Frank Woods, which is one of the most iconic characters from the Black Ops series. New York. So obviously Frank Woods is coming, which makes sense. He's not the player that you play as, but I know you didn't care, but Ghost and Price, do you kind of remember them from Modern Warfare? It's Ghost and Mason. It's Woods and Mason. Those are the two from the Black Ops series. So that's cool. And then, it's talking about becoming the wolf, hunting. We're seeing presidents. It's crazy. And I also want to point out, I wonder if this is where the AI was, because they were hiring somebody at Treyarch that knew AI. I wonder if it's for stuff like this. Because it's straight up Bill Clinton or something. It's straight up these old presidents. But then hold on, there's one more thing. That whole video, there's then rewind at the end. You click rewind, and it actually changes. It doesn't just go back to the beginning. So now apparently there is a national security alert. I'm watching it right now, and then it skips to 2 people running, 1 girl sliding, and that is actually our first bit of zombie gameplay that we see. And then finally there is news. So it's going through a whole bunch of things. This is a casualty of war, Channel 6 news, something on the Statue of Liberty, and then there's also a news guide. So it's channel guide, tear down the lies, the truth cometh, all fair, wide open eyes, which is the video, the trailer, and then Channel 6 news. So that's really cool. How do you feel about that so far? Because you obviously aren't super in the Call of Duty, but this whole way of promoting the game.
I am very much on board with these kind of promotions. This is the kind of thing that will get your community excited for a game. You can release a trailer, you can release teasers, but that's going to do nothing compared to something as interactive as this that's full of footage and secrets and things for them to dig through. And like you said, being able to download those videos is basically them saying, hey guys, take this and I want you to dig through and destroy it and try and find things. There's
so much other stuff that I'm not going to get into, because unless you understood, and I also miss that there's in all these videos. That one with the Chia Pet, if I save that, imagine the amount of stuff you probably would see in the audio, the breaking, it's glitching and it's switching frames. There's definitely hidden codes and stuff in that.
Absolutely.
We've already seen. So I'm very excited. This is also a big deal. I know Call of Duty has not done well lately.
Yes, shit.
And that is not an uncommon opinion. However, what I think is different is I was not looking forward to Modern Warfare 2. I did not have my hopes up like a lot of people did, which was smart. But the reason I'm getting my hopes up is I personally believe that Treyarch has never failed. All these games are made by different studios. You have Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch. Treyarch made Black Ops, Infinity Ward did Modern Warfare, and Sledgehammer did World War II, Advanced Warfare, some of those really random ones. Treyarch made, I think, the best. In fact, when you're looking at all these rankings, most YouTubers, and I'd say most people, out of the best, like, SA, most of them, almost all the Black Ops games are up there. Like, Treyarch's always at the top, and then it goes downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Even Cold War, which I think is the weakest of the Treyarch series, I still think is better than Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2022, 3, Vanguard, all of these. Mm-hmm. So, not only is this, they've had Cold War. You didn't play or see or anything, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you can watch my campaign, because I did play through it live, and I'm going to play it again later when the game's about to come out. But they made that game in like 16 months. They made Modern Warfare 3 in 9 months. They had 4 years to make Black Ops 6. 4 full years of development. And they've been saying they've been playtesting it for 2.
It's a very good sign.
That is very good sign. So, and they also have Raven software helping them out, which made the campaign in Cold War and helped out. And you've played mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
The main studio behind mobile is Raven.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they're just helping with the campaign or more, imagine some of the cosmetics we can get, which is we're getting to with the Vault Edition that I sent you. Mm-hmm. So this is very good news. Like, I'm very excited because I have reason to believe that this game will do different. Not just, oh, this, oh, that. Here is, like, hard facts. Treyarch, which I think made the best and most highly rated Call of Duty. They had more time, more help, this and that. So I think it's going to do well. Then, so multiplayer. We have like 50 guns apparently at launch or so.
Yeah.
Which is good. Lots of maps, which I want to ask your thought. So obviously you haven't played a lot. A lot of the thing that's been happening is we want remastered maps. Like, we're surprised we didn't get original Modern Warfare 2 maps remastered in this new Modern Warfare 2. But we did get some in Modern Warfare 3. But I've been seeing a lot of comments saying, why can't we get new stuff? How do you feel about that? Because we are getting new stuff. We are getting new stuff, but we're also getting, Nuketown's always in, but we can get Summit and Firing Range for the 3rd or 4th time. How do you feel about that? Like, just keep bringing stuff, like, in a game like this. I'm not talking, like, Fortnite map constantly, but as multiplayer map out of 100.
Yeah, I think as long as you have, like, an option, then add stuff as you like, If you're allowing players to pick what they do and don't want to play, just add stuff, Bring back old maps, make new maps, I think there is obviously a limit to how much new you can do, because I feel like you shouldn't add a map if it's not at all connected to, the story or something like that. So, like, for this game,
World War II did have a map where you were little toy figures in a big sandbox.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch there, I will say.
That was a fun map, though.
That map sounds like it has more of a place in the mobile game.
But
I think in terms of, like, as far as maps go, bring back all the classics that people like and add as many as you can that are connected to your campaign, that are connected to any missions.
They do that a lot. Like, Warzone has a lot, or Warzone is made, or Blackout, right? The Black Ops 4 Battle Royale was pretty much entirely made of Black Ops locations for multiplayer maps.
Yeah, no, I definitely think
to the
that
people
is the
that
best
complain is, can you list me any iconic map from the last 6 Call of Duties? No. Summit, Firing Range, Nuketown. You know Nuketown and you don't play Call of Duty. That's the other reason why. I want the old ones back, because the 3-lane, the flow of the map is always better than what they're trying to experiment with now. So, lots of maps coming out. We're going to get new ones. We're going to get remastered ones. Lots of guns. We're coming up to the end, but some other stuff that I'm very excited about. So, first off, multiplayer. Now that you've played XDefiant, how excited are you to play some Black Ops 6 multiplayer?
I'm pretty excited for it. Multiplayer is the thing I'm a little bit more hesitant about, because that's the element of Call of Duty that I'm usually not really interested in because of how grindy it can be, how many different elements there are. But I'm definitely going to give it a go just because this game does look so promising.
And because of the other 2 modes. So let's start off with campaign. Campaign, obviously, all of the stuff that we just talked about, the teasers, that is most likely for the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that I'm looking forward to, and hear me out before you start criticizing me and saying I'm a terrible person. There's rumors that one of the campaign missions will be 9/11. Which I'm very looking forward to. And hear me out. So obviously you probably don't understand why I want that too, do you? So Modern Warfare 2, you'd say that's a very big Call of Duty, right? Like, people still talk about it. I feel like one of the reasons people talk about it was because the campaign was controversial with, like, no Russian. Videos are still getting taken down because of that mission. And it put it on the map. And we haven't done that since then. Since that original, like, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, we haven't gotten, like, a good campaign where it's controversial and they did something crazy. And I feel like this could be a really cool mission. Because here's what it would be, what I'm assuming, is we're going to play the mission twice. We would either hijack the planes, we'd play as the terrorist, or you'd have to try to defeat the plane, but you'd lose probably, because, you know, that's how history goes. Or, because it's fiction, what if there's a chance that you could save one of the towers, and then there's a third plane? You know, they can do whatever because it's fiction. But I think this could be a really cool mission and really because imagine if everyone was talking about Call of Duty because they put 9/11 in. That, like, so I'm looking forward to it. Just because that's gonna, like, put this game on the map. Like, this will be iconic and memorable. But also another thing which I'm not sure about, but are rumors, is apparently this campaign will be open world.
That has me intrigued. I would be very excited to see how an open world Call of Duty will play.
It should be really cool. Like, and I would expect, what if there's, like, fast travel, or you have to drive back to base to then select your quote-unquote next mission, right? Because right now you just teleport. What if you actually a cutscene hops you onto a helicopter and then you're driving to your next mission? Like, it could be like that, and it could be really cool. But then finally, there's zombies. So, again, Cold War did it very different. It was like this open world zombies called Outbreak, which I did not like. And there's a lot of things about zombies I did not like in Cold War and Modern Warfare 3, etc. But from what we've seen, we will be getting round-based back. How do you feel about zombies? Like, you haven't played it, like, at all, have you?
I have played a good bit of zombies. That's the one mode that I did play from a handful of Call of Duties. Like, I played the zombies from Ghost. I played the zombies from, I believe, the original Modern Warfare 2. I played the zombies from a Black Ops game. I would not be able to tell you which.
Because Ghost is, like, the worst. Like, so that's the other thing. Generally, when you're referring to zombies, we're referring to Black Ops, because Extinction mode, though it's like third mode, it is not the same, like, gameplay. Like, there's so many things different. Advanced Warfare is alright. Modern Warfare 2 had Spec Ops, which is against people, not zombies or, like, anything. So maybe you played Spec Ops, which is, again, not the same as zombies. I'm just letting you know. So I don't think you've properly played zombies. And I think we have to play.
I played zombies on mobile.
That again does not count. That's even gone now. Like, that was an LTM.
No, it's back in permanently.
It's back now?
Yeah.
I think it's a different version, though, again, versus, like, what normal zombies is. What I'm really looking forward to is if there's operators or if there's crews. If there's operators, it'd just be like normal skins that we can buy. If it's crews, there's literal lore in the banter between the characters.
Nice.
There is Easter eggs where you have to go through, so you have to get this little head, then you have to kill this boss. Like, there's apparently this one-hit knife that you can get that's a spork, and you have to go through, like, 17 different steps. You have to kill, you have to, like, sacrifice people to this guy and do this and that. Like, it's very in-depth. It's more than just survive. I feel like if we could play, we could totally be going for Easter eggs, and they're such a fun thing. I've never really properly went for an Easter egg, because I never got into zombies until way later in its life cycle. Like, I played Black Ops 2, like, 6, 7, 8, 9 years after it launched. So I'm very looking forward to playing this day one and going for those Easter eggs. And I feel like you would enjoy it because there's a lot of lore to zombies as well. But with zombies, we also have gobblegums, which are going to be a thing that you can consume, and it gives you powers. So, you know, like, zombies has, like, perks, right? You go get, like, Juggernaut, Speed Cola. One of them, every round you get a new one. When you pop it, you can get all your perks round 2, if you're lucky enough. But it consumes it. So you only have, like, 7. So if you use it and you die, you lose that. You don't get it again. And you have a limited quantity. So, finally, what do you think about some of the cosmetics that we've seen? Because the Vault Edition did get leaked, and I really wasn't going to, but I might have to get it. So what do you think about some of the cosmetics that you're seeing about Black Ops 6? We saw some skins, which, again, there's all story or zombies. So Klaus, the one guy on the right, I think is the bus driver from Black Ops 2. We have, like, a guard from Alcatraz, which is another big map. What do you think about the skins, the guns? Because we have guns for, I'm saying like the Locust, maybe a whole bunch of stuff.
They look pretty good to me, and you know me, I like my flashy stuff. You know, I like things that have color. I like when they are, you know, shining lights in my face as I'm shooting things. You know, that's awesome. And so these ones look really interesting.
So these look like they might fit your style.
They do. They're a lot more intriguing than some of the other skins I've seen. So who knows? Maybe if I end up absolutely loving this game, I will also buy the upgraded edition.
But do you mind going a little over? Because I want to talk about it being on Game Pass.
We should go for it.
Okay. Well, first, did you see that it will also be on last gen? It's going to
yes,
be on PS4,
I did.
Xbox Series 1. How do you feel about that first? Because I know Xbox is a little different than PlayStation when it comes to that.
Yes, I'm unsure because Xbox One is kind of low spec at this point. Like, it is not great compared to a lot of the stuff we're getting, and the main hindrance of a lot of games that have come out over the past few years have been the fact that, you know, contractually they had to make it compatible with both generations.
11 years since Xbox One.
Word. But yeah, it's not great to hear that. I'm kind of hoping that they do a similar scenario to some of the other games that have come out recently, where they literally make two different versions of the game, where you buy one and you get the other for free, obviously. But if I like go to my library for a game like Tales of Arise right now, I'm going to see two different versions of that game, and one says Xbox One and one is just a normal game. I'm hoping that's the route they go down, because if that is the case, then we're going to have one that is much more visually stunning and did not have to, you know, stick with the rules of Xbox One as they're developing the game itself.
So that's how PlayStation does it too. Like Cold War, I can buy the upgrade, and then I would get the PS5 version. It's just more the principle that they have to put the resources into developing that lower version with different resin stuff, and that's what like a lot of people are worried about, that they're taking the time away. Now, I also don't know if you saw, apparently right now, there's approximately like 120 million PlayStation users right now, PSN users, and apparently almost half of those are on PS4.
Dang.
So that might be why they're also doing that. And I'm going to assume that it's probably around the same for Xbox, maybe a little bit more because of how cheap the Series S is.
Yeah.
But still, millions of people on the last gen. So that's probably why, because imagine all that money they'd be losing.
So there's that. It's very true, yeah. I think, I don't know, it's tough, because that accessibility is really good to have, right? It is really good to be able to have it on that past generation for the people that don't have, you know, the upgraded console yet. However, I think there's kind of an in-between that they should have tried to meet here, where, like, obviously PS4 has a Pro version, right? Like, there's a better version, Slim, whatever, that's upgraded specs. And Xbox does too, the Xbox One X, you know. There is that upgraded version of the console. I think they should have made it like that. I think they should have done it so that if you have the One X, you could play it. But the fact that they're bringing all the way back down to the Xbox One, that is such a low-spec system that it is going to be knocking down the bar for the Series X version if they don't do two separate versions of the game.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. There's more stuff I want to talk about, like Call of Duty HQ, but we are out of time. We won't get into that. I want to talk to you after, though, because I think you're going to hate it and love it. So with that, I'm going to be covering Call of Duty. Like, when it comes out, I'm going to be reacting. I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, so we will episode that next week. The following week, probably not. But I will be doing a video, and I want to talk about my thoughts on Call of Duty, going in depth, plays in Call of Duty, and I want to go over the Xbox Direct. Maybe we can do an episode on that. That's coming up, because did you see PlayStation also did one?
Yes, I did see that.
So maybe we can do that. Xbox is going to announce some new stuff, but at the end, we are going to be getting the first official Microsoft Xbox Call of Duty reveal. That is October, that's when it launches. June, what is it? June 9th?
June 9th, yeah. I think
June
that's
9th.
Right. Yeah, couple days away.
So we'll see you then. I'm Dr. Zombra, and you are...
Your mother.
Follow us at Nerd Rant Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and join our Discord and subscribe, hit the bell, yada yada, and goodbye.
Do all the buttons. Bye.